everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. And of course what we're going to use for this new DIY, we are going to use the smaller tumbling tile blocks. Of course we have here the container with everything inside. Make your own container with everything you use for your DIY, but the most important is of course the wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but always be careful that it doesn't break. I have here my paint. Use some paint at your choice. And of course I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. These are the main pieces we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, it's already a little while ago since I made a bench. I made a couple of benches for decoration. So if you want to see them, go ahead, go to the playlist, and there you see more bench ideas. But I'm going to make one again with a twist on it. We will see how this will turn out. So what we're going to do first, we're going to first take 2 sets of 12 sets of 2. So 12 sets of 2, and what we're going to do is very easy. We do some glue on one block of the sets. So over here, do it over here, and this one over here, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So now you have on each set, you have one of the blocks with a glue. You place the other one on top, place it on the side and squeeze it and make a straight line. Place it on the top, do them on the side, squeeze them. Here the same, place them on the top, squeeze them. Make sure that you have a straight line, and here the same, place it on the side. And so you're going to do all 12 sets. Oh, my English today is really mixed up. So you have 12 sets of 2. Again, over here, squeeze them, and over here, squeeze them. And the last couple, and this is number 11 and number 12. And again, we're going to squeeze them. We're going to get our wet towel, and of course we are going to wipe away the top of the glue, and we make sure every time go back and look that he has a straight line. And then we're going to give them a couple of minutes drying. So now we have our 12 double up. What we're going to do, we're going to take 4 of them and we place them on the side. We have to look that we have them all on the same direction, because you don't want them to point at another direction, because that's not what we want. So we do some glue on the tops over here. We do some glue on this top and roll it together, and the last over here and this one. And now we're going to make one piece out of it. Very gently you're going to squeeze them. Make sure that you have a straight line. You're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So now we have our first middle piece like this. What we're going to do, we're going to place this one straight up, and we're going to get one loose block, but we are going to glue this one on this side. And if you are measuring, if you turn it over, this one is a little too small. So you have to make the side which is fitting nicely to each other. So you see the one of the middle is pointing over here and is going further on this side. So we're going to do some glue on this one over here, and we're going to glue this one over here. We do on this side the same. Of course we can measure out, this one is not correct and this one it is. And we're going to do some glue, and we do it in the opposite direction. Very gently, you're just going to squeeze them together this way. And we're going to let this dry in for a little moment. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to turn this way. We're going to get another loose block. If you are looking this way, it is fitting nicely, but if you're going to turn it, you see already this one is higher. So you always have the right size if you measure out, and he has to be on the same size as this one. So again, we do some glue over here, and we glue this one exactly in the middle over here. We do here the same, and we do some glue on top over here. And of course I need to use enough glue, and we're going to glue this one and give it a little bit of pressure, and I have to have them straight against each other. So this way, and I'm going to let this dry in. So if everything is correctly, you have now this piece, and I show it to you also this way. Then you can see it a little better. Now I'm going to, I didn't wait too long, of course. I hope you wait at least 1 hour until this one is dry, because we have to turn it over and we are going to do the other 4 the same way like this one. So the chance is that my sides are falling down, but it doesn't matter. I just glue them together again. But for you, wait a little bit longer if it does. It does. Of course, wood glue dries yeah, with warm temperatures very well, but it's always tricky. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place it this way. I'm going to get another block, and you see already, if I'm going to look this one, it doesn't fit. This one, it does fit. So I'm going to do some glue on the tops over here, and of course my glue needs to come out, and he is not want to come out. So it's always a heavy moment. And yes, here we are again. My glue was totally stuck, so he didn't want to glue anymore. So I'm going to place this one on this side. I'm going to do the other one. Of course, you have to fit them first, and they do. And I'm going to do this one over here, and I'm going to let this dry in for at least also a couple of minutes, the same like we did with the top side. So you see already, I turned this one also now. I gave it, like I said, a couple of minutes drying, then I turn it, and now I'm going to glue, of course, this one also over here, but I have to do it this way. I do some glue on this side over here, and make sure that I glue this in the middle, and I do here the same, some glue on the tops, and I'm going to do them in the opposite direction, the same like we did with the other one. And now we're going to let this dry in also for at least an hour. So in the meantime, while our middle frame is drying, we are going to make the feet of the legs where he stands on. We are going to do 2 sets of 3 double. So again, we're going to do some glue on this one, place it on top. We do some glue on this one, place it on top, and here the same. So you get at the ending, you get, oh my, so again he's stuck. I don't know what's wrong with my glue today, but he is not really working with me. So again, over here, I think I need to redo it again. So I did a piece of wire, I did it inside, and now I hope yes, there he is again. I don't know what's wrong today. So, and this one is on top also, and here a little bit more glue over here, and now we have 6 pieces of a double. So place them on the side, squeeze them again over here, and give them a couple of minutes a rest so they can dry in a little, and this way. So now we have our 6 pieces of 2. We are going to get 3 of them, and we're going to glue them together. So on top of there, some glue, and we do here some glue, and we're going to roll them together until one piece, squeeze them, and this is already one. Now we're going to do the other one also over here and over here. Oh, you see already, I don't know what's wrong with my glue, but I have to press so hard. I'm going to cut off a little of my piece because I'm really, and this one, and I'm going to squeeze them together and let them dry in for at least a half hour. So now we have our frame like this, and we have our 2 feet, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue them on top of here exactly in the middle. Of course, you have to look for which one is fitting, because one is fitting, the other one isn't. So we do some glue on top of here, over here, and a little over here. And we're going to first place them down. We're going to place this one in the middle over here, and now we're going to get this one closer, and we're going to place it down, and then we're going to work with it to find the middle. Of course, I'm going to wipe away the glue, and when you have found the middle of your block, then give it a little bit of pressure that it sucks in a little in your feet. Be sure that you have it straight. It's a little bit of a task, but just take your time. That's the most important. Just relax, take your time, because you can move it around at least for 20 minutes. So always go back, look, and then press it down and let it dry in, and remove the glue with a brush, because I always use a small brush to pull away the glue. So now the underframe is drying. We are going to make now the sitting area, and of course we have 3 rows of 10, because this bench will be a little bit bigger. It will be small but a little bigger. So I'm going to do 3 rows of 10, and I'm going to place them down on the table, and I'm going to row them together until one piece. And of course I make it this big, but you can make it of course smaller if you don't want to have it this big. But I think he will easily fit in your decor. And this one is so great. You can do it for the farmhouse style, you can do it for the glam style, you can do it for any style in your home and for every season. That's also the greatest. So if you are also a decorator for the seasonal decor, then you can use it for everyday and seasonal. So that's always the greatest about benches. You can use them for more purposes. And again, we're going to squeeze them from the inside to the outside like this, and squeeze at the end. We're going to press them together until one piece, and at the end we're going to give it another press. And here also you see already he wants to pop out, but we are going to press it hard, and also over here, and I'm going to wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we have our 3 rows of 10. We're going to turn them this way. We're going to place them on the side. We do some glue on each block over here, and we do here the same over here. And now we're going to place them down and place them together until one piece. And now we're going to gently squeeze in to fill in the open gaps. And it is a little bit of a task, but don't worry, at the end, if you keep your patience, it will work away nicely. And over here, and I'm going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to let this dry in also for I think at least a half hour. So if everything is correctly, you have now this piece over here with your stand, the underside of your bench, and you have now the plank with 3 rows of 10 glued together. What I'm going to do, because mine is still not totally dry, so let yours a little bit more dry, I'm going to do some glue over here, and I'm going to place this one with the lines over here. So they are the lines of the blocks are going here. We're going to do them in the middle, and we're just going to work our way down very carefully. Just squeeze it, and if everything is correctly, it will fit nicely in between. So, and now we're going to let this dry in, at least when we are down, and we are there. And now I'm going to give it some pressure, and I'm going to let this dry, and now we're going to do the rest of the bench. So I did wait a little moment, and you see already, now is it. And you can also use it as kind of a table. You can use it for more purposes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get some loose block. I'm going to do some glue on the underside, because I want these corners a little bit more even with the rest. So I'm going to do some glue and some glue on the side, and I'm going to place it on here. And of course I will show you a little bit better. I have here some loose block, some glue over here, and a little on the side, and we're going to let it fit in over here this way. And we do on this side the same. We do some glue over here and a little on the side, and we place it on top of here this way. And we do here the same, some glue on the underside, this side, and of course I have to look for that I have it this way. And I'm going to do a little on the top over here, and I'm going to let it fall in, and we're going to let this dry, and we're going to remove the glue with our brush Oh, you see already he has to glue over here. So now our bench is drying. At least you can leave it this way. It's a little bit strange, but you can leave it this way and decorate it. But I'm going to make a kind of a back support on the in the middle, so you can sit on the bench on two sides. So this is now 10 blocks. We're going to do 10 blocks, and we're going to glue them together this way. Just row them together. And it is possible that your blocks are maybe a little bit bigger, or one block is a little bit bigger. Just get your sanding paper and sand a little bit on the sides, on this side off. It's very easy, and then it's easy fitting, because now you can, I show it to you in a moment, it's a narrow fitting, but that's what we like, because we don't want spaces which are left open. So, but I'm going to look for if I need to sand off a little, or maybe I am lucky. But it's so easy, just get your sanding paper off your sanding tool and just sanding off. You can also do it with your machine, of course, but not everyone has a sanding machine. Of course, I have one, but only a small one, so kind of a little, with a little round. I don't have a big one, only a little one. But he is very easy to handle. Again, I'm going to squeeze them, give it a couple of minutes dry, and then we're going to glue them in between. So you see, now we have our little bench, and you can also decorate it like I told you this way. So I'm going to have my piece of 10. I'm going to do some glue on the underside, very gently, over here. And I'm going to place this in the middle. And you see already, I am really lucky. He is really fitting in the middle. So that's most of the time. It doesn't happen a second time. I'm really lucky this time. But like I told you, just sand off a little of the sides. So make sure that you have it in the middle before you're going to squeeze and press it down over here. And then we're going to wipe away the glue with our brush again. So now you see already, he is now for two sides. We're going to place this on the side, and we're going to get our blocks. And I have one set of two, I have two sets of two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And what we're going to do, we're just going to double them up. We do some glue over here, over here, over here, over here, and this one, this one, this one, and this one. And we're going to double them up again, place them on top. And I won't bore you with that. I will do this a little bit faster. Again, place them on top, and this one. So now we have our 8 pieces of 2 doubled up. What we're going to do, we're going to do 2 of them glue together. We're going to make sure that we connect them this way. We do this one also, 2 of them together, and this way. And now we're going to do this 4 of them, because we are going to make kind of a we call it prieeltje. I have to look up in English how you call it. It's you can do some flowers around it. It's over your bench, so you can decorate it also. So I am going to look for what's the name of that. We call it prieeltje. Maybe you also call it this way, but I think you have a different word for it, if I'm correctly, but you will hear that, or you will hear that in a minute. Oh, you see already, there's my block is already flying around. And again, but you see, it's so easy just to connect them again and just squeeze them, and they are connected easy again. I'm going to let them dry in for at least 10 minutes. So now we have our 2 pieces of 2, and we have 1 of 4, which will be over this way. We are going to get our bench, place it over here. What we're going to do, we're going to get the 1 of 2, and we just make the sides longer. So you also glue a little bit of glue over here, and you just place it on top of here the same way like the other one is glued also. So this one is, the little tops are over here, and you just glue this way the same also. And then it's nicely fitting on top of each other this way. Make sure that you wipe away the glue, and we're going to give it a little moment dry, not too long, because we want to have the top also on top, so we can still remove it if we need to. So in the meantime, while this one is still drying and this is also drying, I'm going to make some pieces where you place your hands on. We are going to do one loose block, and we're going to use 2 beads, not too big, but I use the diamond beads, and I'm going to do very easy, just do some glue on this side, and I'm going to place them over here. I showed you in a moment, don't worry, in a moment I will show you. And this one over here on this side, and on this side I do also 2, and I turn it in a moment, then you can see it also, and another one on the front side, and then I'm going to turn it, of course, because we're going to do this side also. And again, of course, this one over here. I have to be sure that I keep it inside of my bench on this side, because I don't want that it is sticking out, and the front has to connect. So you see, this is how he is looking like. So just place 2 beads on each side, so over here. And now I'm going to do the other one also, but I won't bore you with that, so we're going to go further now with the one loose block on top. So I did let them dry in for a little moment. Of course, they're not totally dry, and of course it is an armrest. Of course, you already knew that. You were thinking, why doesn't she know that? But of course, it's an armrest, and I'm going to do some glue on top, also over here, and on this one over here. And I'm going to do a little on the back side of my block. And of course, I have to turn it, because or else I don't even see what I'm doing. So I'm going to place this one on top of here and let it rest. You see, then you get this shape. Again, I do here the same, do a little bit on the top of the block over here, and I'm going to turn it and I place it over here. Make sure that I have it in the exactly on the same length on top of here. So now we have both of them, and I'm going to do the other side. And of course, we call it prieeltje, but you call it a gazebo. I thought a gazebo was the complete piece, but gazebo is also the top. At least what that's Google says. So I'm going to do this side also, and then we're going to place the top here. So now I'm going to do some glue on the tops over here and over here. And now I'm going to place my top of my gazebo of prieeltje, like we call it here. So you learn also a little bit of Dutch. So I have now the top of my prieeltje. So I'm going to let this dry in. So you see already how our double bench turned out. And of course, you can leave it this way, because we're going to use this for some greenery to do around. So everyone can decorate it their own way. But I think I'm going to do on the top, because here in the Netherlands we have kind of little wood pieces sticking out on each side of your gazebo. But I always have a little bag in my stash, in my box with my blocks, because there is always scrap wood which is falling off from your tumbling tower blocks. So I always have a bag with half blocks and that kind of a thing. So I'm going to do half blocks over here. So you just take a block, cut it in half, and then glue on each side of one. And I think I'm going to do here, here, here in the middle, and here and here. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know if I am going to like it, but we will see. So you have to try something if you like it or not. So I'm going to have my half block. So I have 2 half blocks already. I'm going to turn this one over this way, place it in the middle. So I'm going to do some glue on this one. And of course, I show you only one piece, because or else you get very bored. I place one on this side. And of course, I am going to place one on the other side in the opposite direction at the ending. So I'm going to feel with my fingers, and then I'm going to squeeze it over here. Make sure that you have it, nothing is sticking out on the outside, because that's not what you want. And so I go on and on until I'm on this side. So here you see how he is looking like, and I'm really happy that I did it. At least at the end, you have to try something before you know it really works or not. Sometimes, and if it didn't work, you just break it off, because wood glue you can, and even hot glue, you can easily break it off. But hot glue is only tricky because then a lot of the glue is staying on and you have a lot of work to get the glue off. And with this one, if you do it in a recent maybe 10-15 minutes, you can easily break it off if you don't like it. So I'm going to paint mine in the white color, but choose any color you like. Maybe you like black, maybe you like silver, gold, spray paint it, do whatever you think is right. I'm going to give mine a little white color, and I make sure that my wood is still coming through. So, but that's what I like. You don't have to do it. So I'm going to paint this one, and I won't bore you with that. So I'm going to take my time. So you see already, he is now in the white color, and I'm really happy with the result. Of course, in a moment you see the quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling Tile Blocks double-sided gazebo bench, and I'm so happy how this one turned out. Of course, I hope you give it a try, and everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do and you're not subscribed to my channel, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell, so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day, and of course I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!